Welcome, fellow adventurers, to our channel of mysteries and thrills. Before we dive into tonight's gripping tale, we want to extend our warmest greetings to all our new and loyal subscribers. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. Now, let us transport you to a dark and stormy night, where Mary and John found themselves trapped in a house steeped in secrets. Brace yourselves as we unravel the chilling events that unfolded before them. It was a dark, stormy night when Mary and John were trapped in an old, abandoned house on the outskirts of town. Rain poured from the sky and thunder filled the air, making their hearts beat faster. It all started with an innocent car accident on a desolate road, when their vehicle hit a tree and their cell phone had no reception. They had no choice but to seek shelter in a nearby building. The door of the house creaked as they opened it, revealing a dark interior. The darkness was overwhelming, but they had to take a chance and step inside. The inside was a terrible mess. The furniture was overturned and the walls were covered with moisture stains. Indistinct footprints on the floor suggested that they were not the only ones who had been here. Every step Mary and John took seemed to lead them deeper and deeper into the dark recesses of this house. Any sound emanating from the floor or walls made their hair stand on end. It felt as if a secret was spelled here, and the ghosts of past occupants were watching them from hiding. As they passed through the living room, they suddenly heard a deafening knocking coming from the basement. Their hearts stood still. Terrified, they descended the steep staircase, struggling to keep their balance on the ancient steps. In the cramped, musty basement, they discovered a hidden chamber. In its center stood an old wooden armchair. Mary illuminated the room with a flashlight, and its light revealed a lifeless face staring at them from the armchair. It was a deformed old man, with a silent mouth and faded eyes. For a moment, John and Mary couldn't take their eyes off this terrifying sight. Unexpectedly, the old man raised his hand, extending his fingers toward them. Panic gripped Mary and John. They began to back away in fear, but the basement door closed abruptly, trapping them. Their screams were soundless, only echoing around the room. The old man, with whom their gazes were still entwined, slowly rose from his chair. His slow, unhealthy movements resembled a dance of death. He extended his long, bony fingers toward them, and their hearts beat even faster as they realized that he was an ancient soul charmer, a prisoner of his own mind and the inmates of this cursed house. They tried helplessly to open the locked door, but the force that held them was extremely powerful. The old man, grinning mischievously, began to draw from his crooked lips whispered words they could not understand. Around them, earthy hands and pale faces began to appear, specters of past victims of the house who were still stuck in this horrible world. Mary and John fought their fears, trying to find any way out. Fury and determination fueled them, as they knew they had to break this curse before they were consumed by darkness. They grabbed each other's hands, finding the courage they needed in this desperate situation. Suddenly, something unusual came out of the deepest recesses of their minds. For a moment, they forgot about fear and their surroundings, focusing on a common goal. Their minds merged, creating a flash of energy that illuminated the room. The specters began to fade, and the old man stepped back, holding his breath. Coming out of the trance, Mary and John looked at each other, knowing that this was the moment. They directed all their will toward the old man and shouted words of liberation in one voice. Suddenly, the whole house trembled, and the terrible dreams and specters disappeared, leaving only a silent void. The basement door opened, and Mary and John fled outside, struggling for breath and holding hands with each other. They looked once more at the house, which was now just an ordinary building, devoid of darkness and mystery. Since that night, Mary and John have vowed never to enter such a place again. But the memories of that frightening story stayed with them forever and provided a precious gift of a strengthening bond. The terrifying adventure they experienced made them stronger, able to overcome obstacles together. However, even years later, when Mary and John were starting a family and enjoying the peace and quiet of their home, they were sometimes reminded of the chills of that night. In the darkness of the night room, they could hear the old man's whispered words or see a shadow flitting across the corners of their eyes. but they shared these fears and knew they were brave enough to face any adversity. The great lesson learned from this terrible story was that one cannot ignore the obstacles or dangers that lurk in the darkness. They were aware that the world was full of mysteries and unknown forces, but they were ready to face them, knowing that they had the power of a brave heart and mutual support. And so, Mary and John went on with their lives, knowing that each day could bring new challenges. But because of what they went through, they had the confidence that no matter how terrible those challenges might be, they had each other, and that was the most important thing. As we bid farewell to Mary and John's tale, we encourage you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. We love hearing from our incredible community of thrill seekers. Remember, the world is teeming with mysteries waiting to be uncovered, and together, we are unstoppable. Dear viewers, stay curious, stay courageous, and let us explore the unknown together. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories that will keep you hooked till the very end. Until next time, may your adventures be filled with wonder and your hearts be forever fearless.